Last week against the Giants, reserve New Orleans quarterback David Wilson came off the bench to throw passes like this. Taken at the 2-yard line by Wes Chandler, and he goes out of bounds. Now it'll be David Wilson starting the ball game today because Archie Manning is still out with an injury. Here we see him hand the ball off to Wayne Wilson. And Wayne Wilson takes it into the end zone for a touchdown. Today, the New Orleans Saints are playing the San Francisco 49ers, who lost to Atlanta last week despite a fine performance by Joe Montana. Here he is his tight end, Charlie Young, and Young goes into the end zone for a touchdown. Joe Montana likes to throw the football, as do the 49ers, and when he's looking for the deep threat, he is looking for Freddie Solomon, who is down in the corner and gets in just at the flag. Today, it's the passing game of the 49ers against the running game of the New Orleans Saints.
CBS Sports presents the National Football League. Today, the New Orleans Saints against the San Francisco 49ers.
It's a slightly overcast afternoon at Candlestick Park in San Francisco, the home of the 49ers. Hello, everybody. I'm Lindsey Nelson with George Allen here in San Francisco. George, what's it going to take for New Orleans to win this ball game?
Well, for New Orleans to win, they need a big game from George Rogers. He has to rush that football for well over 100 yards. They have to run first. Now, that's more important than ever because they're starting a rookie quarterback, Dave Wilson. If he can go play-action passing, that'll take a lot of pressure off of him.
On the other hand, what about the San Francisco 49ers?
Well, Joe Montana needs a big game throwing against that young secondary of the Saints. However, it would certainly help Montana if they could run the football. The 49ers haven't been able to run the football very effectively.
Now, speaking of the Saints, Wes Chandler's a good deep threat.
Well, what I've found out over the years, Lindsey, is a young quarterback usually features one receiver, follows them all over the field. Look for Wilson and Chandler to team up a lot today.
We had a chance to ask Coach Bum Phillip of the Saints about his young quarterback, David Wilson. We did that moments ago, and this is what he had to say.
He has an excellent arm, but he also has a little sense about where the people are coming from. He can kind of feel people around in the edges, you know, and move around good in the pocket. He's not an extremely fast kid, but he's hard to catch up with.
So now, we're getting ready for the kickoff here at Candlestick Park as the New Orleans Saints will be kicking it off, and that is Russell Erxleben who'll be putting it up. Famous Amos Lawrence is dropped back there deep with Mike Wilson to receive the kickoff for the San Francisco 49ers. There they are, deep men. On the left side is Amos Lawrence, just added to the squad of the San Francisco 49ers, and number 85 is Mike Wilson. Here's the kickoff. It's a knuckleball downfield. Lawrence touched it, but it's going to go across the end line for a touchback. First and 10 at the 20-yard line for the San Francisco 49ers. So the 49ers come up there with Montana at the quarterback. Third-year man from Notre Dame, and Lawrence is coming off the field. Fine running back from North Carolina. Now it's going to be Montana, Ricky Patton, and Earl Cooper are the running backs, wide receivers Solomon and Clark. And the offensive line right there, anchored by the veteran Fred Quillen, the center. Charlie Young's the tight end. They run a slot left with Solomon in the slot for Joe Montana. Quick pitch. Ricky Patton is closed off at the line of scrimmage for no gain. Second down, 10 yards to go. Elois Grooms in to make the tackle for the New Orleans Saints.
Well, Lindsey, they lined up in a slot formation and ran back to the weak side. I said at the start of the show, it would certainly help Montana if they could run that football.
Monty Bennett is the nose tackle here this afternoon. They got a pair of Bennett's, but it's Monty who's starting there, the linebackers. And the deep men. Tommy Myers, the veteran back there. Montana, his first pass of the afternoon, and it's taken by Clark. Dwight Clark, his 21st reception. David Waymer is over there on the corner. On the left corner, it's Waymer, the Notre Damer.
Well, Montana goes play action, fakes away, gets a one-on-one. Clark on Waymer. Good execution. First down.
So the 49ers are first and 10 at their own 31-yard line. They send Solomon to the right side, Dwight Clark to the left side. It's Cooper and Patton in the setback. That's Patton. Ricky Patton with a little stutter step, and then you go back to the 37. Jim Kovach, linebacker, made the stop. Gain of 6 on the play, makes it second down and 4 yards to go. There are the stats on Ricky Patton.
Well, you know, Lindsay, the Saints are starting number 91, Monty Patton. He's a rookie. They signed him as a free agent. He's a good athlete. He can rush the passer. So it'll be interesting to see how number 91, Monty Bennett, plays today.
Now the 49ers out of an R formation. This is Patton. Ricky Patton looking for the first down, and he's got it. It's a 1st and 10. Their second consecutive for the 49ers. It'll be spotted, I think, just in advance of the 41-yard line.
They double-teamed Monty Bennett that time and took him out of the play. Now, that type of football, being able to run effectively, will really help Montana.
They were ready to move the sticks on the far side, but now they say measure it. So maybe he didn't pick it up. We'll find out. Ball was spotted. It looked as though he did, but they'll touch the chain and see. And it did for the length of the football. It's a 1st and 10. Cooper comes out of the ballgame, and Johnny Davis comes in now. The former Alabama back usually comes in as a fine blocker. He was obtained by the 49ers from the Tampa Bay Buccaneers when Owens was traded.
When he comes in, he usually blocks and leads you to the play.
He's in the right set here. Ricky Patton's in the left set. We'll see if they go on a right sweep. Well, they give it to Davis, oddly enough. He gets through to the 46-yard line.
Well, that's good strategy. They've been using him strictly as a blocker. Now they use him as a runner. And I understand, talking to some of the 49ers, he had an excellent week of practice. And that's good by Bill Walsh. When a guy works all week, he ought to get a chance to start when he's 2nd and 3rd string, or at least play a little bit.
Then Red came in to make the tackle. Earl Cooper comes back in at the setback. 2nd down, 5 yards to go at the 46-yard line. Montana brings them up. Solomon's in motion across. Penalty marker, and the whistle stops play.
Well, Dan Audich, 61, was in motion.
The referee is Fred Silva.
Ball start, number 61.
Dan Audich.
Well, so far, Lindsay, Montana is doing something that he hasn't been able to do this year. Run the football.
61, offense, ball start, 2nd down.
By the way, he's doing a good job. They got him from the Chargers.
2nd and 11.
Going to be 2nd down and 10 yards to go, maybe 11 yards to go as it's spotted now. Well, it's 2nd 11. This is Patton. Ricky Patton getting up near the 44-yard line. Be 3rd down, about 8 yards to go. Ken Boydell on in with Glenn Red to make the tackle. The Orleans Saints line up defensively on the 34. And as George Allen pointed out, Monty Bennett, the rookie from Kansas State, is starting at the nose tackle in place of Barry Bennett. Hey, final score, Detroit beat Oakland 16-0.
Isn't that something?
And Cleveland defeated Atlanta, and isn't that something? Right here, we're early in the ball game. Dropping back is Montana. Steps up, flips it out, taken by Ricky Patton. He lunges up to the 49-yard line. Going to be about 3 or 4 yards short. Dave Waymer on the tackle. 4th down coming up.
Yeah, the Saints confuse Montana. They double both wide receivers. No place to go but underneath.
So as Jim Miller comes in to do the punting, Jeff Gross has dropped back deep. Miller is the barefoot kicker from Ole Miss. Udo Merkins is upfield in tandem about 10 yards in front of Gross. Gross moves up. He takes it at his 12-yard line. He's at the 15. He's at the 20. Gross to the 25. Goes to the 30, and he hits the deck across the 30-yard line at the 31. Terry Tortola came in to make the tackle. And so here, the New Orleans Saints get the ball for the first time this afternoon. They'll get it 1st down and 10 yards to go at their own 31-yard line.
There's nothing we want to watch on TV tonight, but we're still going to watch something great with our RCA video disc player and video discs. Just flip a switch, and on our TV, we see Airplane or The Pink Panther, The Godfather or Grease, Muppets, Monsters, Mickey, MASH, and 100 more. Starting as low as $15, and the player costs less than $500. Put it this way, we're watching a great movie, and you're watching us.
It started with one automobile. links. Now more than ever, the world belongs to Lincoln Mercury.
Here at Candlestick Park in San Francisco, this is Lindsey Nelson with George Allen. We'd like to welcome all of you who've been watching Atlanta and Cleveland. No score early in this ball game. The rookie quarterback Dave Wilson is starting. Jack Holmes and George Rogers, the setbacks in an I formation. Rogers, the tailback. Heisman Trophy winner at South Carolina last year. Growth in motion to the outside right. Ike Harris is out of the ball game. Taken by Rogers, and he gets it up to the 35-yard line. Carlton Williamson, former Pitt player, comes in to make the tackle.
Well, that's the opening play that we predicted, that Rogers would carry the ball and Holmes would block, and that's what they have to do to win today. They have to have a big game from Rogers, well over 100 yards.
There you see the offensive line. Sam Adams back in there today for New Orleans. They're in an I formation again. Second down, 6 yards to go. Holmes the blocking back to fullback. Growth in motion outside left. Here's a quick pitch taken by Rogers again. And it gets up to the 40-yard line.
Well, that's
Dan Buns and Jack Reynolds in to make the tackle.
Yeah, Lindsey, that's a weak side play, and it starts out like it's a weak pitch, a wide play. But all the time, Rogers is looking for an opening, reading the blocking, and it usually ends up in a cutback.
It's a down 3 for the San Francisco 49ers. Linebackers, although at this moment Milt McCall is coming there as well on a 3rd down and a yard to go. Motion across. Here's Rogers. He's got the first down. Yards to spare. George Rogers driving, and he goes out of bounds finally near midfield. Penalty marker thrown across the sideline marker. Right hits Jack Reynolds.
Yeah, I think it was a late hit. That was an inside play, and Rogers took it outside. Here it is. Pitch to Rogers again. Holmes blocking. Now he fakes in and goes out. No contain man on the defense. 57. Well, could be a clip there.
Referee Fred Silva is marking it off down to the 34-yard line, and we'll hear an explanation from him.
Defense, number 27.
Yeah.
Personal foul. Late hit, out of bounds.
Carlton Williamson.
Get him out of bounds.
So it is 1st and 10 for New Orleans now. And the ball is spotted at the 36-yard line. There's Williamson. Played his high school football in Atlanta, Georgia, his college football in Pittsburgh.
Good-looking young defensive back.
First down at 10 yards to go. Rogers and Holmes the setbacks in the I formation. David Wilson, the rookie quarterback. Taken by Rogers. Fumbled. Ball got away. Recovered by the 49ers at the 30-yard line. Rogers fumble recovered by San Francisco.
He picked up about 7 yards on the play.
It's Eric Wright on the football.
Well, that's how you beat yourself. You can't make mistakes, especially when you have good field position, Lindsey.
They will start 1st and 10 at the 29-yard line as the 49ers get it back.
Dear Atari Anonymous, my son Boris has a missile command problem.
My mission in life is to save all of mankind.
Lately, my daughter has developed a similar problem with Atari Warlord. Now with video pinball, my husband is acting funny lately. With Atari games so ingenious, so involving, so intense, I ask you, Atari Anonymous, is this problem contagious?
Could we see the McCulloch 610 chainsaw?
But you're beavers.
Oh, it's not for us. It's a birthday present for our dad. He just doesn't have the bite he used to.
Well, the 610 sure has power to spare. Come on around back, boys.
Gosh, it starts faster than Dad, too.
That's the electronic ignition.
Gee.
And it's got anti-vibration for smooth cutting.
Gee whiz. What's that?
The chain brake for safety.
Wow.
Any more questions?
Yeah. Can it sing Happy Birthday? Take it easy, Barney.
McCulloch 610. Sawing is believing.
Tuesday, October 6th, it's America's favorite backwoods family in an all-new movie. Buddy Ebsen stars in The Return of the Beverly Hillbillies, October 6th.
Here's a replay on that fumble. Now watch Danny Buns, 57, come over and cause the fumble. Right here. Here he comes. In from the side. Knocks the ball loose. Big play for the 49ers.
Eric Wright got underneath there to grab it up, protected by Archie Reese, so it's 1st and 10 for the 49ers as Danny Buns is along the sideline there. No score. We're in the first quarter. Freddie Solomon wide to the left side. Dwight Clark short to the right side. Running back to split. Joe Montana throws a screen right. Taken by Patton, Ricky Patton. Got across the 30 and was piled up to 32 by Ricky Jackson, the rookie from Pittsburgh.
Well, Montana had a pretty good call. The Saints dogged on that, and he had a screen. That's usually a pretty good counter for the screen. Here it is. Saints are dogging. Montana dumps it off to Ricky Patton. Good defense by Jackson, 57. Very good defense.
9 minutes remaining to be played in the first quarter. There is no score as Montana brings him up 2nd and 7 at the 32-yard line. Cooper and Patton. This is Patton again. Ricky Patton getting the brunt of the running game here this afternoon so far for San Francisco. Takes it out to the 35. Jim Kovac, Lois Grooms on the tackle.
Well, Lindsay, Montana's trying to get his running game going. And in the games we've done, I think he's been outstanding. Kept his club in most every game without a running game.
3rd down, 4 yards to go. It's at the 35-yard line. Freddie Solomon in a wide left. Montana over the middle, and it's complete to Dwight Clark. He's got the 1st and 10. Dave Waymer made the hit.
Well, Montana read the dog. The Saints dogged him that time with a 6-man rush, and he read it. Here it is. Here's the replay. Going back to pass, he reads the dog, gets rid of the ball quickly, underneath to Clark. 1st down.
1st and 10 San Francisco. They are doubling Solomon and Clark to the left side. Cooper and Patton in the setback for Joe Montana. Going to Cooper and intercepted at the 40-yard line by Dave Waymer. And Waymer runs it back along the sideline inside the 30. It's about the 22-yard line as David Waymer goes out of bounds. Waymer playing the left corner today because of the injury to Johnny Poe.
Well, Lindsay, he overthrew that ball. No chance to complete this pass. Threw a high pass, overthrew his receivers, and threw it right to Waymer. Nice return for the Saints. Great field position now.
Spotted at the 29-yard line as you see Dave Waymer. He played both offense and defense during his days at Notre Dame. Ran that one back nicely.
31-yard return, Lindsay.
1st and 10 at the 29. Wes Chandler's in a wide left. Throws in motion to the right side. Chandler on a turnout. He goes out of bounds down near the 21-yard line. Eric Wright on the corner over there. Spotted at the 22.
Well, you mentioned Eric Wright. Last week, Eric Wright had a tough game. Now, Eric Wright is playing deep, so this is a good call. A 5-yard short out to Chandler. That marker is 5 yards. Now watch him. You still don't see the defensive back. See how deep he is? Now he's coming up. 21.
2nd down play coming. David Wilson goes to Chandler, incomplete. Ronnie Lott covering defensively. At the top of the show, Coach George Allen was saying that he thought that the young quarterback this afternoon, David Wilson, would be looking for a receiver, and he thought he'd be looking for Wes Chandler. Well, he completed one to Chandler and tried to hit him again. 3rd down play coming. 3 yards to go. Gross to the left side, Chandler to the right side. Even up the running back. Now move him over. Rogers into a slot right. David Wilson. Goes to Holmes, his fullback. He is across the 20-yard line. Dan Buns in to make the tackle.
That was a 5-man pattern. Everybody out.
They leave the ball right there and they can determine about the 1st down now because it might be inches short. It is short, says referee Fred Silva, without measuring. 3 tight ends now.
Yeah,
Tucson Tyler comes in.
They're going for it.
Hardy, Williams, and Tyler in there, and the triple tight end. 4th down play, 4th and less than a yard. Inside the 20-yard line. Holmes ahead of Rogers. Rogers drops the ball. San Francisco recovers. Second turnover. It's Danny Bonds who recovered the fumble. And Danny Bonds is being tagged as David Wilson tries to get back there to him because they were simply going on the principle if you haven't been touched, get up and go.
Right. That's being alert. That's good football on the 49ers' part. The Saints have had great field position twice. Both times they've stopped themselves.
So it'll start now with the San Francisco 49ers in possession. They'll have the ball at their own 22-yard line, and there is no score here in the first quarter.
If your morning shave has turned into a nightmare, gotcha. Wake up to the exclusive twin-action Norelco Rototract razor. Inside free-floating heads, twin-action grips and raises hair up, then razors hair off, closer than ever. For twin blade closeness without a nick or cut, the twin-action Norelco Rototract razor, quarter rechargeable. Because for close shaves,
there's no action like twin action.
Let the Radio Shack TRS-80 Model 2 give your business the competitive edge.
Hey, a TRS-80. You bet. And Radio Shack's programs do my accounting, payroll, inventory, even word processing.
But was it tough to set up?
Not at all. The TRS-80 has low startup costs, requires no formal training, and it's expandable. Saves me time and money, and that's the competitive edge.
The TRS-80 Model 2 from $38.99 only at Radio Shack, the biggest name in little computers.
Here's the fumble, 4th and 1. Rogers never has the ball. You see that? He never had really possession of the ball. The quarterback should put that ball in firmly so he feels it.
First and 10 for San Francisco at the 22. Montana, their quarterback. Paul Hofer's in there now. Hofer's got the football. Up to the 25-yard line. About a year ago, Paul Hofer tore up a knee. He had surgery. And he's been working back, and he's about to reach the point where the 49ers figure they've got to call on Hofer and find out to what extent he can play.
It's good to see him back in there. I think he's going to get a real test today, and they need him not only now, but the rest of the year.
Cooper and Hofer, the setbacks. Mike Schumann and Dwight Clark are the wide receivers in there now. Clark is coming to a wide left, running back to the 9 formation. Hofer to the outside. Just short of the 6. Dave Waymer on the tackle with Jim Kovac.
Well, Hofer's running with authority, and the fans like it. The more he can run and get hit, the better he'll be. Here it is, from the eye. Fullback leading the play. Hofer going outside, using his blocking. They're measuring for a first down now.
They've taken the sticks all the way across, and it is a 1st and 10. Brian Peets has come in at a tight end now. Johnny Davis and Paul Hofer are the setbacks in the game for San Francisco. Montana looking to the sideline. 1st and 10 at the 32. They've got Schumann in the wide right. Give it inside. Johnny Davis carries. Gets across the 35. Kovac again on the tackle along with Eloy Scrooge.
Well, they had 2 tight ends in that play, Lindsey, so they really are trying to run that football. They also have Johnny Davis in there, 38, so they got 3 good blockers.
2nd down, 5 yards to go at the 37. Charlie Young and Brian Peets, both tight ends in there. Johnny Davis and Paul Hofer in at the setback. Mike Schumann at a wide receiver. With Hofer, I beg your pardon. Davis carries. Glenn Red was in to make the tackle, the rookie from Brigham Young. Davis coming off. Cooper is coming back on.
Here it is. Gives the ball to the fullback coming back to the weak side. He had 2 hands on it, protecting it pretty good. Now it's 3rd and 1.
3rd and short here now. Schumann in motion across. Cooper. Penalty marker is strong. He was struggling to get to the first down stick. Tom Myers on the tackle. Myers there looking up, number 37.
It didn't look like he made it. Tom Myers, they're hitting the underneath man. Saints played this pretty good. Now watch Myers come up and hit him, lock his arms around him. And Waymer up there, I don't think he made it.
Offensive interference call is a preliminary signal. Fred Tove will tell us about it. Silver wants to talk to Tom Myers, who's the captain back there for the New Orleans Saints. It'll be their option.
Offensive pass interference. Offense, refuse, fourth down.
That's because he didn't make it, and fourth down is coming up, so they elected to bring up the punt.
That's the call to make.
Jim Miller coming in. The barefoot boy will do the kicking again. Look at this. The Eagles have beaten Washington by a score of 36-13. Overtime, Cincinnati and Buffalo at 24. Miller, Gross is deep. Long, high spiraling kick. Hits on the 4, into the end zone. It'll be blown dead there for a touchback. First and 10 at the 20-yard line. 59-yarder for Jim Miller.
And a 5.0 hang time, Lindsey. That's excellent.
Really put it up there. He has been somewhat erratic, but the barefoot boy this time really put it out of there. And so it'll be New Orleans taking over. They'll have it first and 10. They'll have it at the 20, and we have 3:50 to play in the quarter.
Here's to good friends.
Beautiful. I thought we were just taking a ride in the country.
We are. This is the scenic route.
Boy, I'll say.
Now, hang on, it gets better at the top.
What could be better?
How about the same view with a thick steak and a cold Lowenbrow?
Yeah, better.
When you want the taste of a truly great American beer, tonight, let it be Lowenbrow.
All in favor of missing the next tram down?
Let it be.
Motion carried.
Food, clothes, just about everything seems to cost more today. One reason young families think they can't afford life insurance.
Allstate update, lower life insurance rates.
Now, Allstate's cut prices up to 20% on a lot of their life insurance. Like this $100,000 level term policy that now only costs a 28-year-old father about $19 a month. Before you buy, come in and compare. For life, home, or auto, you're in good hands with Allstate.
On CBS Sports Saturday, Boom Boom Mancini challenges three-time champion Alexis Arguello for the WBC Lightweight Championship on CBS Sports Saturday.
Along the sidelines, Ike Harris there just moving up with his arms folded, who is not even in pads this afternoon.
I learned to respect him when I was with the Redskins, and he was with St. Louis stuff. He's done a fine job for the Saints.
First and 10 now for the Saints. They have the ball at the 20-yard line. David Wilson is their quarterback today. Gross is in motion across. He's playing Harris's position. George Rogers got it out across the 25. Danny Buns in to make the tackle. Again, about 5, makes it 2nd and 5. Danny Buns having his finest year ever with the San Francisco 49ers.
And you know, Lindsey, I think one of the reasons is number 64, playing right alongside of him, Jack Reynolds. Jack's the type of guy that'll help the entire defense, but especially the linebackers. Now, if you watch Jack, he's in every play.
Hacksaw Reynolds. Again, it is Rogers. Well, right up the middle, he runs a broken field to the 39-yard line before Dwight Hicks brings him down. It was a 12-yard gain.
Well, this is what they have to do. It's a draw play. Good blocking at the point of attack. Now watch him lower the shoulder and go forward.
They got Wes Chandler coming out to the left side. They got Gross to the right side. Rogers. Penalty marker strong. Rogers got to the 40-yard line. Jim Stuckey was there on the tackle along with Dan Bunn. Holding is indicated against New Orleans. That's the preliminary signal.
You know, Lindsey, it used to be that you never saw, very seldom, I should say never, saw holding against a team with a running play. See, you hold against a pass, but not a run. Now, that was a running play and a holding.
The Jets 33 and Houston 17, a final score.
That's the Jets' first win.
Fred Silver's marking off the penalties. Puts it back at the 29.
Offense, number 67. Holding.
Dan Brock.
First down.
First and 20 at the 29. Stan Brock has a chance to be an all-pro. All he needs is experience to play and learn. He's going to be a good one.
Wayne Wilson and Jack Holmes are the setbacks. Now Rogers has gone to the sideline. Wayne Wilson led the final line up to the 35-yard line. Danny Bunch was there with Willie Harper on the tackle. Here's a finally in overtime. Pittsburgh 27, New England 21.
And you know what happened on that? New England scored the tying touchdown with 24 seconds to play. Matt Cavanaugh hit Stanley Morgan. And then Terry Bradshaw hit Lynn Swan with a 24-yard touchdown pass to win 27-21. Heck of a game.
It is Bum Phillips along the sideline with George Rogers. Second and 14 at the 35-yard line. Wayne Wilson, Jack Holmes, the running back. David Wilson looking for Chandler, and he's got it. Where's Chandler? Out of bounds at the 26-yard line. Dwight Hicks made the tackle.
Well, two things happened there. The 49ers dog. The Saints picked it up. Here it is. Watch the 49ers dog. There's 57, bunch doggy. The Saints picked it up, and Chandler ran a corner pattern, one-on-one, beautiful throw. Kept them inbounds. Big play, well executed.
Picked up 39 yards.
Here it is again. He's watching Chandler all the way. A nice throw. Cradles it in.
George Rogers is back in the ballgame. He's at the tailback just now. First and 10 at the 26. Taken by Holmes, his fullback. He struggled through to the 24-yard line for two. It'll be second down and 8 yards to go. Carlton Williamson made the stop.
Now, what he did in that play is fake to Rogers, 38, and gave the ball to Holmes. Gave it to the front man, the fullback.
That's Holmes coming back to the huddle. Four-year man from Texas Southern. There is no score. We have 1 minute 55 seconds left to play in the first quarter. Chandler to the left side. Jeff Gross to the right side. David Wilson. Incomplete. He had Larry Hardy out there. He had Jeff Gross running deeper than that. He had Chandler on the other side. Ronnie Lott was covering defensively. Third down and 8 yards to go as Wilson looks for the play.
You know, Lindsay, I think this young quarterback shows a lot of poise. He overthrew his receivers purposely. They were covered, not take a chance to try to get it in there and force it in there and maybe get an interception.
Wayne Wilson has come in. George Rogers has come out for the third down play here. Gross to the left side. Chandler right. Now they move Wayne Wilson to a slot right. David Wilson. Gross, and it's touchdown to Gross.
Well, I tell you what, he also showed something there. He showed a lot of savvy there. He had plenty of time to throw. And watch him step up. If we see the replay, now watch him step up. Watch him step up right here. He feels the pressure, and instead of running, he throws a perfect pass right in the fingertips for a touchdown.
24 yards to Jeff Gross. Conversion attempt coming. Vinny Ricardo went with Myers holding for him. After Myers, Ricardo boots. It's good. And so as they come back up the field, we have 1:37 remaining in the first quarter. And the New Orleans Saints have gone out in front by a score of 7-0. Next weekend, CBS Sports coverage of the National Football League continues. You'll see either these same San Francisco 49ers versus the Washington Redskins or the Dallas Cowboys against the St. Louis Cardinals. That's next Sunday on CBS Sports. And don't forget, it all starts with the NFL Today.
Here's the touchdown again. Drop back pass. He's watching his receiver, but this is the smart thing. He steps up to avoid the rush. Instead of running, he sees his receiver as open, puts it right in the fingertips.
Now deploying to receive it is Amos Lawrence, number 20, Mike Wilson, number 85 for the 49ers. And it'll be Russell Erxleben kicking off for the New Orleans Saints.
That was Stuckey that put pressure on him, Lindsey. They've missed him. He's had an ankle injury and hasn't been effective. He's a solid football player.
Sunny and slightly overcast afternoon here at Candlestick Park. Good football day in San Francisco. Ball is in the air, and Lawrence is waiting at the 5-yard line. Across the 20 and across the 30. Tucson Tyler made the tackle.
Well, you know, that kick return shows me one thing. Even though he didn't bring it back too far, he's got great speed. He's the type of guy that can go all the way.
The Bucks are leading the Cards 6-0 in the first quarter. Montana there, calling the next play in the huddle first and 10 at the 31-yard line. Clark and Solomon a double to the left side. Paul Hofer, Earl Cooper are the setback. That's Hofer in motion outside right. Earl Cooper. Got to the 34. Gain 3 on the play. It'll be 2nd and 7. Monty Bennett and Ricky Jackson made the tackle for New Orleans.
Speaking of Amos Lawrence again, I have a report that he's run a 4.440. So that's racehorse speed. He has a chance to help this ball club. They could use a little more speed in that offensive backfield.
Less than a minute remaining to be played in the first quarter. Defensive unit along the sideline for the 49ers. Hofer, Paul Hofer. And he's down for another first down. Eloy Strooms and Carl Myers.
You know what I like about Hofer? He is not the racehorse runner, but he's going forward. Now, he picked up that last 2 yards on his own. He lowered his shoulders, kept his feet driving, kept his knees pumping, picked up the first down on his own.
That was a trademark of the Paul Hofer when he was healthy. He would drive, and he would put his head down and drive in there. And the question was, after knee surgery, can he continue to do that? He was driving on the last play. 1st and 10 at the 41-yard line. This is Earl Cooper. Gets about a yard before Jim Kovac stops him.
Well, they had faulty ball handling on that. They almost collided as Montana pivoted, did the reverse pivot in.
Lots of traffic as time ran out in the quarter, and Montana heads for the sideline to talk it over with Bill Walsh and the Board of Strategy. So the first quarter has ended here at Candlestick Park, as the New Orleans Saints are leading it now by a score of 7-0.
Hey, Roger.
Do you mind if I borrow your Wagoneer to go camping?
Well,
Hey, Raj. I'm off to the slopes. Can I take the Wagoneer?
Well, pretty smart, Raj, owning a Jeep Wagoneer. You've got the security of four-wheel drive and about the same mileage as a full-size two-wheel drive wagon. If only your neighbors were as smart.
Hey, Roger! Can I borrow the Wagoneer?
Get your own Wagoneer or Cherokee with a $750 introductory rebate from Jeep.
RCA's Video Expo Day. Now our best video systems for 1982 are also remarkable values. Encounter ColorTrack's sharp, vivid picture and get $100 off selected models with a trade-in. Discover RCA's Big Bright Projection TV and get $150 off with a trade-in. Or buy selected VCRs and get over $100 worth of blank tapes and discounts. For details, see your participating RCA dealer by October 25th. We're Exxon. We're Bill Welch, whose people are finding new ways to discover and produce oil and gas. We're Tony Wong, testing the effect of Arctic ice on offshore oil operations. We're Tony Brown, making computer maps of promising oil areas. We're Lyle Finn, developing a new concept in offshore oil platforms for deep waters. We're Bob Brophy, using satellite photographs to spot new areas which may yield energy. We're more than 100,000 people working on energy. We're Exxon.
New Orleans 7, San Francisco nothing as we start playing the second quarter here. And in the first quarter, Dallas 3, New York Giants nothing.
Yeah, stepped in, kicked a 36-yard field goal.
We're at the point now where the races are starting to take shape, and there's a big game coming up next week that's looming in the Eastern Division of the NFC, Dallas and the St. Louis Cardinals.
You know, those two teams always put on a high-scoring game. No matter what St. Louis's record is, they seem to play Dallas pretty good. And no matter where the game is played, it's a good game.
Game will be seen next week on many of these same stations. Now here's St. Louis. They're trailing the Tampa Bay Buccaneers by 6 in the first quarter.
Well, we have that game. We do Tampa next week, Lindsey.
It'll be right there.
Tampa and Detroit. Detroit won today. That should be a good ball game.
49ers have the ball 2nd and 9. They have it at the 42-yard line. Joe Montana has quarterbacked them throughout the first quarter. Paul Hofer and Earl Cooper are the setbacks. Solomon in motion across. Joe Montana swings it out to Cooper. Penalty marker is thrown. Penalty marker is thrown to the umpire, and I think it's holding, and it moves up to the 47 for 5. Yeah, Ricky Jackson, Glenn Red made the tackle.
A real late call, and Montana wanted to go downfield, and he couldn't, and he dumped it off to Cooper. I think it's number 68.
Umpire Ralph Moorcroft made the call, and Fred Silver is facing it off.
Offense, number 68, holding, 2nd down.
John Ayre.
Here it is. Let's see if we can see it. There's 68. Yeah, he's got a hold of him there. Oh, he got a takedown. If that were wrestling, he'd get 2 points.
Still 2nd down. Solomon to the left side, Clark to the right side. Montana. Screen right to Hofer. Bounced out of bounds by big Ricky Jackson, 230-pound rookie from Pitt.
Well, now you see, even though he only made a few yards, this was a good call. It's a screen pass. He just got called for holding. Quick setup. Dump it off to 36, Hofer. You shouldn't lose anything on it. You shouldn't be sacked.
3rd and long at the 35-yard line, about 3rd and 17. Hofer's in the left side, Cooper in the right. Montana. Solomon. And he made the catch.
Oh.
At the 45-yard line.
Great job of keeping his feet in. The ball was out of the field of play, and Solomon kept both feet in.
20-yard pickup.
Let's see if we can see that. Watch Solomon run, driving the defender off. Now he breaks for the sideline. Now watch his feet. Both feet right in. Tap, tap. Here it is again. Oh, excellent shot. Great shot.
So the 49ers have a first down in New Orleans territory outside the 45-yard line. Here's Hofer. Got about 2. Dave Waymer made the tackle on that corner.
And you see Hofer was hit there on the line of scrimmage, and he still made 2 yards with his drive and body lean.
2nd and 8. We're early in the second quarter. This is Lindsey Nelson with George Allen at Candlestick Park in San Francisco. New Orleans is leading by a score of 7-0. Right Clark to the left side, Freddie Solomon to the right side, running back to the 9 formation. Montana has it. Throws a screen left to Hofer. He got to the 38 before Tom Myers came up to stop him. Picked up 5 on the screen left.
Well, the Saints are doing a pretty... Oh, Looks like he pulled a hamstring.
Hofer holding the back of the thigh there as he comes off.
That often happens. He's getting a big hand. They like him here because he gives you everything he has all the time. That happens when you've laid off and you haven't really tested yourself, Lindsey, and you go all out. I hope it isn't too serious. Here, let's see if we can see it. It's a screen pass to Hofer off a play action. Now he dumps it off to him. Let's watch him right here.
Ricky Patton is carrying. And he gets it to the 35-yard line. Glenn Red in to make the tackle. They look for the possible first down.
Yeah. Checking Hofer out on the bench there.
It is a 1st and 10 for San Francisco. Montana on the huddle. Ricky Patton, Johnny Davis are the setbacks in there. Montana. Incomplete. Dwight Clark, the intended receiver.
Montana might have gotten that ball in there, but there was a lot of traffic. He was pretty well covered. Here it is. He wants to hit Clark on a stop pattern, which is his favorite pattern. There it is. There's Clark. Both guys are running the stop. Solomon and Clark.
So Montana split the difference. And it's going to be 2nd down, 10 yards to go at the 35. Dwight Clark and a wide left. Solomon and a wide right. Ricky Patton. This telecast is presented by authority of the National Football League and intended for the private use of our audience. Any rebroadcast or other use of this telecast without the express written consent of the San Francisco 49ers and the National Football League is prohibited.
Now, Sam White's the quarterback coach is up in the press box. He relays some calls down to Bill Walsh. Montana gets all his signals, all his plays from the sideline.
Cooper started out onto the field and now has come back to the sideline. A little late, 3rd and 5. That's Patton in motion, back to the inside. Montana. And it's complete. Second at the 17-yard line by Dwight Clark. It's a 1st and 10. Tom Myers covering, 15 yards.
Well, we talked about Clark's favorite pattern is about a 12-yard hook, and here it is. You hook up between the defenders. Very difficult to cover. Very good execution. Nice first down call. A type of pass that can pick up a first down.
So trailing by 7 points here in the second quarter. The 49ers have the ball 1st and 10 at the 17-yard line. Mike Wilson has come in. Dwight Clark has come out. Patton inside the 15 to about the 13.
Well, you know, I think the 49ers today are mixing their running and passing better than we've seen them all year, Lindsey.
Report on Hofer is a pulled hamstring. He might return. Archie Manning along the sideline.
That's unusual to see Archie there.
Earl Cooper, Ricky Patton of the setback. 2nd down. Now it's a reverse end around, and Solomon is spinning, trying to get to the first down stick. Dave Wimmer on the tackle along with Ray.
Well, that's a good call. You need speed to run that, and Solomon has that type of speed and quickness.
Reddy Solomon was a quarterback in his college days.
Here it is. Solomon lines up as a wing, fakes the halfback, little pitch to Solomon. Now he just has to turn it on. I'd like to see him put the ball in the other arm.
Johnny Davis comes in there. Earl Cooper comes off now for the 49ers. 3rd down and a yard to go at the 8-yard line. Big 3rd down play. Patton and Davis with the setback. Davis, he's got it. First down and goal to go.
Well, that's an oddity for Davis. He usually ends up blocking and letting the halfback carry the ball.
It's at the 6-yard line. 1st and goal. Bill Walsh, head coach and general manager of the 49ers.
That was a big first down for the 49ers.
New Orleans leading 7-0. The 49ers threatening here with 10 minutes remaining to be played in the first half. Set it up in a wing right. Again, it's taken by Davis. And he's in for the touchdown. Johnny Davis for the touchdown. So the man who usually does the blocking has been coming out here this afternoon as a ball carrier.
Well, straight ahead, power running, lowering the boom. Good blocking at the point of attack. Look at that power. Good leg drive. We said he had a good week in practice, and Walsh is rewarding him by letting him play, and he's come through.
That Barr will attempt a conversion. It's up and it's good. And so as they come back up the field at Candlestick Park in San Francisco, with 9 minutes, 52 seconds remaining to be played in the first half, the score is tied. New Orleans 7, San Francisco 7.
At Transamerica, we're out to make your life a little brighter with loans from Transamerica Financial. With low-cost international flights from Transamerica Airlines. And even with machines from Transamerica de Laval that help light up whole cities.
First-rate service at a fair price. Transamerica.
Bid $100,000 for this Mercedes-Benz today, and you'll bid too low. Offer the owner of this Mercedes $300,000, and he'll just smile. $50,000 for this Mercedes? Not enough. Classic engineering breeds classic resale performance. When it comes to retaining value, the cars of Mercedes-Benz have made history, and history does have a way of repeating itself.
Monday, October 5th. Host Harrison Ford shows us how they created the great stunts for the box office smash Raiders of the Lost Ark. Monday, October 5th.
The 49ers will kick it off now. Matt Barr seated up at the 35-yard line. Wayne Wilson and Jeff Groth are deep for New Orleans. Wayne Wilson takes it on a hop, gets it at the 7-yard line. Back to the 10, 15, 20. And Wayne Wilson has returned it across the 25-yard line before Milt McCall comes in to make the tackle. The Orleans Saints get the ball now. We're on a 7-7 tie. Started at the 27-yard line. There's the scoring drive of the 49ers. Took him 6 minutes, 35 seconds. Davis took it into the 6-yard run. Rogers is the tailback. Gross in motion across. Rogers. It's at the 31-yard line. Dan Bunch made the tackle. Dan of 3 makes it 2nd and 7. Bunch number 57.
Had an outstanding game so far, Lindsey. He's been all over the field, made some big plays, forced a fumble.
And Bum Phillips is the head coach at Houston. He had a fine running back named Earl Campbell who carried the ball a lot. And here in New Orleans, Bum Phillips has a fine running back named George Rogers who carries the ball a lot. Groth and Chandler, the wide receivers, double to the left side. Rogers has the ball. Stacked up for no gain. Jack Reynolds, veteran linebacker, along with Jim Stuckey, made the tackle.
Well, Stuckey stuck him.
There's Hacksaw. Jack Reynolds.
They take Jack out on the nickel. They take Harper out.
Rogers goes to the sideline. 3rd and 6 here. Wayne Wilson, Jack Holmes in the setback. That's Wayne Wilson moving out to a slot right. David Wilson setting up. He was hit just as he released the ball. Lawrence Tillers got to him.
Tillers beat the blocker. Wilson didn't have much of a chance on that. Tillers, here's an end zone shot. Tillers is right in his face. Watch Tillers get period. Coming right in there. Right in his face. No chance.
So it brings up fourth down as Phillips comes to the sideline. Russell Erxleben is shot back in the deep punt formation. It's Dwight Hicks and Freddie Solomon are deep to receive it for the 49ers. Erxleben, who set all sorts of punting records and kicking records at the University of Texas. That's it off. Solomon at the 30-yard line changes direction. Freddie Solomon got it up to the 35 before Jim Wilkes brought him down. So now the San Francisco 49ers start. They have it first down, 10 yards to go. And they have it at the 35, and we have 8:14 left in the first half. Score tied.
Here's to good friends. Tonight is kind of special.
Alex, I'm just coming out to look for you, greenhorn.
We took a little detour.
Little detour? Little detour for what?
Well, we want to say thank you for putting up with us these last couple of weeks.
So we stopped at the store and picked up some lowbrow.
By golly, you city folks are all right.
When you want the taste of a truly great American beer, tonight, let it be Lowenbrow.
Standing ovation. Not even presidents and kings can get a standing ovation. And Tommy Lasorda also came out and saluted this man to my left. Lindsay?
Well, George, it was a great experience. See, they didn't know that I was just going to go downtown and come right back here on Sunday afternoon.
Well, it's something you deserve over the years, and it's a real honor.
Well, it was a great, great night. Thank you very much. First down and 10 yards to go for the 49ers. We're in a 7-7 tie here. Freddie Solomon and Mike Wilkes are the wide receivers in there for Joe Montana. Ball got away. Ball got away, and New Orleans has recovered at the 28-yard line. Ball got away from Montana.
Now, Montana, Lindsay, had the time to throw. He was waiting. Now, watch him wait and wait and wait for the receiver to get open. Now, from the backside, the right of your screen, watch. The ball is knocked loose, taken away.
Rob Nairn.
It's a fumble.
Rob Nairn recovered, made the hit, recovered the fumble. It's first and 10 outside the 28-yard line. So now, a big break for the New Orleans Saints. Wide receivers left and right. Rogers is carried. Inside the 25, Jack Reynolds made the stop. End of about 3. Turnovers, New Orleans 2, San Francisco 2. Neither. That's over the referee.
Offense, number 30. Offensive pass interference. Third down.
Well, back to 35 now. Third down, third and long. Third and 17. Casper still in there with Banks and Chandler. Lone setback. The rookie quarterback, David Wilson. Camel's out. Going on to Casper. Casper drops it. Well, as he has done ever so often, Rich Casper dropped the ball in the end zone.
Well, I tell you what that showed me, though. This guy, Wilson, showed a lot of savvy. Now watch Wilson. He's rushed. He'll roll out to his left, and he sees Castor way in the top of the screen, wide open, easy touchdown. Now watch Castor drop the ball. He didn't catch it in his hands. He did not catch it in his hands.
That is not the first time that's happened to Castor. It is fourth down now, and Erxleben goes back in deep punt formation. Dwight Hicks is retreating for the 49ers. Gross is loosening up to the right side. Now Solomon races on to get back there. They snap it to Wilson. Wayne Wilson. Wayne Wilson takes it short. Does not get the first down. The ball goes over on down. Mike Wilson made the tackle on special teams.
When you have somebody punting from that close in, you got to be alert for a fake. They almost pull that off.
They did, but not quite at the 23-yard line. The ball goes over first and 10.
There's a direct snap to the fullback, blocking at the point of attack.
Wayne Wilson.
Oh, he almost picked it up. About a yard short.
So now it's 6 minutes, 59 seconds. Remaining to be played in the first half, and you see Wilson along the sideline.
There's a company in Toledo, Ohio, who makes an amazing product for your car's engine. It can help improve your car's mileage, give you surer starts, even help your car run better. And the cost of a set is about the same as the price of an oil change. A revolutionary new device? No, it's a fresh Champion spark plug. There is probably nothing that can do so much for your car's engine for so little. Champion, the world's #1 seller.
IBM makes a text processor that's easy to use.
It's as easy as blueberry pie.
Easy because the IBM Display Writer shows you how to edit.
It's as easy as pie.
Check your spelling.
It's as easy as pie.
Do math.
It's as easy as pie.
And now, electronic filing and reports. The IBM Display Writer system.
It's a piece of cake.
Next weekend on CBS Sports Saturday, you'll see unbeaten lightweight sensation Ray Boom Boom Mancini out of Youngstown, Ohio, get his shot at the title that his father never won. He'll take on champion Alexis Arguello for the WBC Lightweight Championship. That's next weekend on CBS Sports Saturday, 4:30 Eastern, 3:30 Central and Pacific. First down and 10 yards to go at the 23-yard line for the 49ers. Ricky Patton, Earl Cooper, the setback, and that's Patton. I beg your pardon, it is Jeff Montana on a keeper. Picks up the first down at the 37-yard line. Dave Waymer made the tackle. Jim Kovac on the tackle also. Waymer and Montana were teammates at Notre Dame.
Well, they fooled the defense completely. Frank Warren, number 73, is playing defensive left end in place of Derlin Warren. He went right down the line. That's really a pass, Lindsey, but nobody contained him, so he ran it.
We're in a 7-7 tie with 6:22 remaining in the first half. Solomon and Bryce Clark. Solomon in motion across. This is Patton carrying. Penalty markers thrown. Ricky Jackson on the tackle.
I'll tell you what I like. I've watched him play 3 plays now. I like this Ricky Jackson, 57.
Ricky Jackson's having an outstanding rookie year for the New Orleans Saints.
He's physical and he's active.
Kenley is against the 49ers. There's Jackson.
They got him. They picked him up in the Muncie trade. He was really the Muncie trade. They got a second from San Diego, and they drafted him.
Offense, number 71, holding.
It is Keith Farnhurst. Farnhurst is holding.
And Farnhurst has been doing a fine job. I think he's probably their best offensive lineman in the games we've seen.
First and 20 at the 27-yard line. Wide receiver Solomon and Clark. Patton's got the ball, and he's at the 32-yard line for 5 to make it 2nd and 15. Rob Nairn made the tackle.
And Farnhurst threw a great block on that play. Cut the legs right out from under the defender.
final. Miami 31, Baltimore 28.
Well, Baltimore's been having trouble scoring points. Bert Jones must have put a few on the board today.
Must have got it together. There goes Sark to a wide left double over there with Freddie Solomon as Montana comes up. Patton in motion across. Montana taken by Cooper, and Cooper's out to the 34-yard line.
You know, this rookie, number 91, Monty Bennett, and that last play really showed his quickness and put some pressure on Montana. I can see why Bum Phillips is starting him.
It'll be 3rd and 13 at the 34-yard line. Amos Lawrence has come in there now, and Patton has come out. Amos Lawrence from North Carolina has come in. Montana. Shovel pass. It was shoveled. It's simply incomplete. It's a shovel pass behind the line, an incomplete pass. Frank Warren broke it up.
Well, when you bring a guy in like Lawrence, he's not in there to block. It's a sort of a shuffle pass to him. It looks like the timing was off. No chance.
So in to do the punting now is Jim Miller. Jeff Gross has dropped back deep. Long, high spiraling kick. Gross is waiting. Gross got it at the 12-yard line. Back to the 15, the 20, 25, 26-yard line. It'll be 1st and 10 at the 26-yard line. 4:34 on the clock remains to be played. 53-yard punt. Score is tied 7-7.
From a country that designed the Concorde, there is a car. From the first people to fly so far into the future, now there is a car. Engineered and crafted with a rare feeling for luxury, this car is remarkable. So why drive an ordinary car when you could command the Renault 18i, the newest achievement from Europe's leading builder of cars? Renault, where great engineering lives in great design, at Renault and American Motors dealers.
Could we see the McCulloch 610 chainsaw?
But you're beavers.
Oh, it's not for us. It's a birthday present for our dad. He just doesn't have the bite he used to.
Well, the 610 sure has power to spare. Come on around back, boys.
Gosh, it starts faster than Dad, too.
Well, that's the electronic ignition.
Gee.
And it's got anti-vibration for smooth cutting.
Gee whiz. What's that?
The chain brake for safety.
Wow.
Any more questions?
Yeah. Can it sing Happy Birthday? Take it easy, Barney.
McCulloch 610. Sawing is believing.
Wednesday, October 7th, Kenny Rogers stars in a motion picture based on his hit song, Coward of the County. He lived hard and fought hard. Kenny Rogers stars October 7th.
Score tied 7-7 with 4:34 remaining to be played in the first half. Bum Phillips, head coach of the New Orleans Saints, along the sideline. 1st and 10 at the 27 for the Saints. David Wilson has quarterbacked them throughout. Chandler and Banks are wide receivers. That is Banks in motion across. Screen right. Going to Rogers. Rogers got to the 34-yard line before Lawrence Pillars stopped him. He's got 7. It'll be 2nd and 3.
So here's an end zone replay of this screen pass to Rogers. Rogers fakes a block and then drifts off in the flat. Uses his blockers pretty good here.
George Rogers. Fitzcaster's in there for New Orleans. This is Rogers' carry. Looking for the first down. Trying to get to the 6, and he got very close. He might have picked it up. Tina Turner and Ronnie Lott made the tackle. Here's the final. Minnesota Vikings 30 and the Green Bay Packers 13.
I wonder if Jefferson played today. He signed. He was in uniform, I understand.
1st and 10 here.
You know that last punt we didn't talk about. You said it was 53 yards. But the big thing, it was a 5.1 hang time. Anybody can run a 40 in 5. So you can cover a kick like that.
First and 10. David Wilson to Gross and incomplete to Jeff Gross. Eric Wright covering on the corner.
Well, he had Gross open. Had him open, just overthrew him, and he had good protection.
Sun has broken through the overcast and is shining brightly here at Candlestick Park in San Francisco.
And it's nice to see a grass field here, Lindsay. When I brought my Redskin team here, this was the hardest field in the league. I brought them in a day and a half early so they could practice on that hard field and not let them witness it the first time the game started.
They called it Candlestone. Second down, 10 yards to go. Gross and Chandler, the wide receivers. Now, Rogers to the 42-yard line. Archie Reese and Carlin Williamson made the stop. Penalty marker on the play.
A late flag.
Penalty is against the San Francisco 49ers, and then Fred Silva will mark it off and tell us about it. And it's a pretty good one.
15 yards.
Defense, number 27. Personal foul, Spearing.
Carlin Williamson. Or Spearing, and that makes it a first and 10 at the 43.
Now, Jack Reynolds didn't like that. I was watching Jack, and he's not used to that type of stuff where you beat yourself.
Rodgers and Holmes with a setback for New Orleans. Over the middle of Rodgers. At the 34-yard line, stopped by Jack Reynolds.
Well, Wilson's using the short passing game. 49ers are coming in with just a three-man rush. Linebackers are dropping back, so he's hitting underneath. Good offensive football. Picked up 8 yards.
We are approaching the automatic timeout at the 2-minute warning. 2:20 remaining. Second down and 2 yards to go. This is Holmes. He's got the 2. It's the first down at the 29-yard line. Willie Harper made the tackle.
Harper made the tackle, first down.
Along with Ronnie Lott, and now we have reached the 2-minute warning.
2-minute warning.
So with 2 minutes remaining to be played in the first half, score is still tied. New Orleans Saints 7, San Francisco 49ers 7. First and 10 to 49 for New Orleans.
Food, clothes, just about everything seems to cost more today. One reason young families think they can't afford life insurance.
Allstate update, lower life insurance rates.
Now, Allstate's cut prices up to 20% on a lot of their life insurance. Like this $100,000 level term policy that now only costs a 28-year-old father about $19 a month. Before you buy, come in and compare. For life, home, or auto, you're in good hands with Allstate.
At GMC, we've been all about trucks for over 75 years. In fact, it seems that whenever a truck job comes along, there's a GMC dealer with a truck to do it. Big, small, and in-between size GMCs, shouldering the load and keeping an eye on costs. Like our new 82 trucks with a new 6.2-liter diesel engine, available in full-size pickups, Suburbans, and four-wheel drive Jimmy. Offering a full line of trucks is our full-time job at GMC, because trucks are what we're all about.
It was just an old piano that no one played anymore. Her children were all grown and gone. But now it was time for it to be part of someone else's life. She wanted someone to have it. That's when Wes Chandler, the New Orleans Saints, first met her. He was working as a United Way volunteer, helping Goodwill Industries collect old things. They knew it was special to her, and they had the people that would work with patience and care to make it play again. Goodwill Industries gives old things new life, and in the process, handicapped people learn new skills so they can return to useful jobs and make their contribution in life. Today, there's a lot of new tunes and a new home for this old piano. at this Girl Scout troop.
Thanks to you, it worked for all of us. The United Way.
The preceding message was furnished by the National Football League. New Orleans with the ball now, first down, 10 yards to go. They're going to reconvene the huddle. 2 minutes left in the first half.
Both teams, Lindsay, have 3 timeouts left, which is very important.
Gross goes to the right side, Chandler to the left. They've got Rogers and Holmes in an I formation. Gross in motion across. Rogers gets to the 26-yard line before Keena Turner brings him down. 2nd and 6. Keena Turner, he's been a little hobbled this week. 3-3 tie in the second quarter, Giants and Dallas. And don't forget that next week, as you see Tampa Bay leading St. Louis 6-3, it'll be St. Louis and Dallas on many of these same stations. Big battle in the Eastern Division of the NFC. Here's Rogers carrying again. Got it to the 22-yard line. Lawrence Phillips made the tackle. It'll be 3rd and 2. And now the first time out is being taken by the New Orleans Saints. 1:17, time remaining to be played in the first half. Tom Phillips, conversation with his young quarterback. Started today, Dave Wilson, who played at the University of Illinois last year and came to the New Orleans Saints, cost him a #1 draft choice for next year. He got his first start today.
Yeah, I think he was worth it, Lindsay. He looks like he has a chance to be a good one. And what's taking place is just what we talked about at the top of the show, is that he's got the running game established. He doesn't have to rely on the pass. He has an advantage over Montana. With a back like Rogers that can pick up 125 yards. He can pound away and then go play action and take the pressure off of himself. And that's what he's been doing. Now he's 3rd and 2, and they can really go 2 downs if they want to pick up the 2 yards and try to get a touchdown out of this.
Tom Phillips was hospitalized earlier this week with a temperature of 105. It never was actually announced what the diagnosis was. The publicity office of the New Orleans Saints said they supposed he was just sick.
Well, that's a good diagnosis.
Hardy, Brooks Williams, Tucson Tyler in a triple tight end alignment for the New Orleans Saints.
Well, that's on that alignment, they've been running to number 42, Tyler's side. Tyler becomes the blocker. Let's see what they do this time.
It's going to be 3rd down and 2, and the clock starts on the snap at 1:17.
The 49ers brought in 76, Dwayne Board, and they have 4 down linemen now.
Time remaining in set, starts on the snap. Tyler moves over to a wing right. Rogers. He's got about 1. Lawrence Phillips in to make the tackle. He's short. Another timeout for New Orleans. They'll have 1 more. David Wilson's going to the sideline and talking over with his coach.
Well, they ran to Tyler's side that time. Changed strength. 77 is coming out. Now he's coming back. Now he's going back in.
Stay with us during the halftime intermission now, as Brent and Irv will bring us up to date on all the highlights and action. And coming up at halftime also, Brent takes a close look at Boom Boom Mancini. Ball has been spotted here outside the 20-yard line, where it's 4th down, less than a yard to go. Clock is stopped with 1:05 remaining. Tom Phillips, David Wilson. Field goal man Vinny Ricardo wants to know also what the plan is.
Yeah. The 49ers have Kugler 77, Dwayne Board 76, and Archie Reese 78, and Stuckey 79. The 4 down linemen instead of the customary 3.
Okay. David Wilson has the plan. Danny Buns has been over to the sideline. He's coming back on, so is Dwight Hicks.
You know what happened the last time they went 4th and short, Lindsey? They fumbled, you remember?
They did.
Rogers fumbled.
Okay. It's same triple tight end alignment. Holmes and Rogers. They're going to go for it. Rogers penalty markers. Penalty markers.
Too much time.
Didn't get it off. No, procedure. Procedure against New Orleans. A procedure penalty.
Now they got to kick a field goal now.
Rogers is limping off. Ricardo has come on to attempt the field goal. Clock says 1:03.
Offside, offense, 68, false start before the snap. 4th down.
Fred Sturt. Fred Sturt with a false start. Well, that makes it 4th and 6. Ricardo is in now with Myers holding, and this will be a 43-yard attempt. There are the stats on Ricardo. Score tied 7-7 late in the first half. Now it is dropped. It is batted back and forth between Ricardo. The ball goes over in any case. And the 49ers get it at the 39-yard line. Myers and Ricardo batted it back and forth. Myers is unhappy.
Well, I don't blame him. It's a high snap. Maybe we'll see it again. A high snap.
Peterzak made the snap.
No chance. Here it is. Watch. The kicker didn't have a chance. Myers had to field a high snap. You can't make mistakes like that and win.
58 seconds left in the half. Score tied. Solomon and Mike Wilson, wide receivers for Montana. Montana swinging it out to Cooper. Earl Cooper goes out of bounds as he got to the 42-yard line, 43 maybe.
Well, Montana has all 3 timeouts. He wanted to go downfield. They took away the downfield pass, so he dumped it off to Cooper, and Cooper wisely got out of bounds.
2nd and 6 for the 49ers at their own 43. Timeouts remaining. New Orleans won. The 49ers have all of theirs. Solomon and Wilson, the wide receiver. Earl Cooper's the long step back. Montana steps up and guns it. Dwight Clark could not hang on. Tom Myers covering defensively.
Good pass under pressure. You know, the Saints made 2 consecutive mistakes. They had the motion, illegal motion on 4th down, and the high snap.
3rd down and 6 yards to go for San Francisco. Score is tied 7-7. 47 seconds on the clock, which starts on the snap. Charlie Young is doubled to the far side. Montana throws just as he was hit. He sent it for Clark. Charlie Young, one of the two.
Well, Montana's just mobile enough that he can avoid the rush.
Punter Jim Miller is coming to the ball game now. Jeff Groth has dropped back to field it for New Orleans.
They're going for a puck block, it looks like.
Jeff Groth is waiting. Got it at the 14, 15, 20, 25, 30. Jeff Groth, 35, 40. Jeff Groth out of bounds at the 50-yard line. From the 14 to the 50. Jim Miller, the punter, was over there to make the stop.
Well, here's a guy, Jeff Groth. Not much publicity, but he's a good athlete. He's not a racehorse, but he's got good balance. Returns the ball 35 yards, handled the punt very well. Big return. They're in position now to get back downfield again.
27 seconds left, and the clock is running now. David Wilson throwing, and it's complete. Taken at the 30-yard line. It was Wes Chandler hit by Dwight Hicks. That's the 31-yard line.
Now they're in field goal range.
And they're taking a timeout, which will be their last. New Orleans using its last timeout. There's Chandler.
Well, you know, Lindsay, if they play this right, they have time for 3 passes, and if they're unsuccessful, kick a field goal. If I were defense in the Saints, I'd double Chandler every down. Every down, I'd double him. And when we weren't doubling him, we'd fake like we're going to double cover him and give him a different coverage.
With Archie Manning there with the clipboard.
And that's Scott also there, number 12.
Here comes David Wilson back onto the field now with the game plan for the last 18 seconds of the first half. Score tied 7-7. First and 10, New Orleans at the San Francisco 31-yard line. Bill Walsh along the sideline. Chandler, Gross, and Banks are the wide receivers in there. San Francisco getting the coverage straightened out. And he's taken with the quarterback, David Wilson. He goes up the middle of the 21-yard line. Dwight Hicks.
Well, you got to hurry now.
They can't stop the clock. It's down to 7 seconds. They have no times out remaining. 5 seconds, 4 seconds, and now the incompletion stops the clock with 2 seconds left to play in the half.
We saw that at Green Bay where Dickey...
Procedure penalty against New Orleans.
Where Dickey ran the ball.
Ricardo coming to kick.
You remember that? Similar situation against Atlanta. Didn't have time to kick a field goal.
Ricardo's in to do the booting. Myers holds for him.
Let's see the snap, Lindsay. Let's see what type of snap we get.
39-yard attempt. Well, going to back it up more than that with a penalty. 44 yards. It is no good. It is no good. It is no good. And so the teams leave the field in a 7-7 tie.
Well, they hurried. They had to hurry so much. The clock ran out.
Clock ran out before he could boot it.
That's what it was. It looked like the kick was good, but the clock ran out. See, Myers didn't realize that. That's why Myers is complaining. Looked like the kick was good and the clock just ran out. They ran out of time because they ran the football with 18 seconds to play. Now, there's the inexperience of the rookie quarterback.
That is Fred Silver and Bum Phillips now in conversation about that last play. The indication being that time had run out. And the officials who were underneath the uprights were simply sort of waiting to see what had happened before they gave any signal at all.
Yeah, they were winding the clock as they were setting up before the ball was snapped.
And the 2 seconds ran off, but they had just inflicted a penalty on New Orleans and wound the clock, and time ran out before they could snap it and boot it. Bum Phillips and Fred Silver, the referee, are in some adversary discussion about that.
Well, the mistake on that is running the football. With 18 seconds, I mentioned you could throw 3 passes. You don't run the football in that situation and take a chance of having just what happened. Then you have to hurry your kick like the Packers did, and that cost them against Atlanta.
Bum Phillips heading reluctantly now for the locker room at halftime. Somebody got Bum's hat. That's Bum Phillips' hat that has been taken by the fan who goes back up into the stands with it, and that is the fellow who has Phillips' hat. Well, that's a good look at him if anybody wants to know what he looks like. There he is. Man who took the hat from Coach Bum Phillips and headed for the safety of the stands. And is headed on outside, apparently, as he goes up the steps. So at the end of the first half here at Candlestick Park in San Francisco, the score is tied. New Orleans Saints 7 and the San Francisco 49ers 7. It's halftime here at Candlestick Park in San Francisco, and we're in a 7-7 tie. Hello, everybody. I'm Lindsey Nelson with George Allen. George, it's been an exciting half.
Yes, I think it has. These teams are very even. We said that at the start of the show. The Saints had to run the ball with George Rogers, and they have been fairly effective with that. I noticed Rogers was limping at the end of the half.
All right, we're going to take a look now at some of the highlights of the first half play here. That's David Wilson, who started, completing the long pass downfield to Chandler.
Yeah, Chandler ran a corner pattern on that. He's been featuring Chandler all this half. He's had pretty good protection. He's shown a lot of poise. Now here he steps up and throws a touchdown pass
to Jeff Gross.
To Gross. He had a good sense of the rush on that play.
Joe Montana, quarterback for the 49ers.
Joe hasn't had the half that he had last week against Atlanta. That's his favorite receiver.
Dwight Clark.
Number 87.
And Davis has been carrying the ball today.
Yeah, Davis had a chance to play, and he's come through. Here it is again. Big, strong fullback. Straight ahead.
And so Davis scored the touchdown, and that's all the scoring we've had in this ball game, as the half ended with the score tied at 7-7. So we have another exciting half of football coming up here at Candlestick Park in San Francisco, and we'll be starting with a score tied at 7-7. And we're about ready to go with the second half of today's game between New Orleans and San Francisco. Here are the first half stats. And one of the interesting things to me, George, is that San Francisco has 64 yards passing and New Orleans 107.
Yeah, well, the San Francisco 49ers are trying to get that running game going. And the interesting thing to me the second half is how is George Rogers going to play? I think they need him on the ground to help Dave Wilson throw the football. And he went off the field limping. He came into the game almost 100%.
Tom has another headdress there, which doesn't exactly match the Texas Western that he had. It's a New Orleans Saints cap, and he's not happy about the officials' call yet that ended play before they could get that field goal. Here it is, Cleveland 28, Atlanta 17, the final score today in the NFL.
Well, now that's a break for the Rams, because it'll probably come down to Rams and the Falcons. Eagles stayed undefeated, 36-17.
The Jets won one, 33-17 over Houston. Cincinnati eking one out over Buffalo, 27-24.
Came from behind.
Overtime it was.
And of course, that's a surprise to me.
Detroit shutting out Oakland 16. Zip from Matt Farr is ready to kick it off. Wayne Wilson is back there with Jeff Gross to receive it. Here comes Matt Farr. Jeff Gross at the goal line 5. He's out to the 10 to the 15. Gross to the 20. He goes out of bounds at the 21-yard line. Bounced out of there by Bobby Leopold.
You know, Lindsay, I had some players like Jeff Gross that had good hands and good moves and ran good routes, but they weren't fast. Now, he reminds me of that type of player. And
Here's
you know
a halftime score. Dallas 10, the Giants 3.
Giants are playing good defensive football. They're linebackers.
Tampa Bay 6, St. Louis 3. Remember, next week it's going to be Dallas against St. Louis on many of these stations. Kansas City's leading Seattle 27. And at halftime, Denver 28, San Diego nothing. This is Rogers carrying. Out to the 23-yard line. Danny Bunch made the tackle.
I didn't think Rogers ran that last play with the authority he did earlier in the ball game. See him limping, Lindsay, a little bit there?
He is. As he heads back into the huddle. Second down and 7. It was spotted at the 24-yard line.
But he averaged 4.5 the first half.
Nothing wrong with that. Holmes ahead of him in the out formation for David Wilson. Throws in motion outside right. Quick pitch, Rogers. Set him up at the 26. Danny Bunch. 3rd and 5.
Here's an end zone shot. Same play. Pitch wide with the fullback leading. Trying to cut back against the grain, and Danny Bunch let him head on. Here it is again. Here's another shot. He doesn't have much Much blocking there. No place to go.
Brooks Williams in there now for New Orleans on the third down play. Lone setback. David Wilson. And it's complete. Taken by Brooks Williams. Brooks Williams has got the first down at the 42-yard line.
And there's a flag, Lindsey. Flag on the play.
Holding is indicated against New Orleans.
You know, going back to Gross, he reminds me of a back who lives in New Orleans named Bob Brunet. Played fullback, halfback for us.
Tom Phillips not altogether happy with the call that has gone against the New Orleans Saints. Fred Silver will explain it.
Holding offense, number 68. Refused.
Fred Sturt declined to bring up fourth down. Beg your pardon.
There it is. Let's see if we can see the holding by 68. Yeah, he's got his left arm hooked.
It wouldn't bring up fourth down, so
Offense 68 holding. Still third down.
It's in fourth. Ball moves back to the 15-yard line. Third down. Wilson and Holmes are the setback. Banks is in a wide left. Chandler's in a wide right. Veteran hit linesman Frank Glover comes in there with
yeah, they got
a report.
Third and 19. Let's see where he goes to now on third and 19.
Tom Phillips wants to confer with Silva.
I'll always remember Fred Silva because we lost the game in St. Louis. We had the game won at the end of the ball game. The officials, and Fred was the referee, took 5 minutes to decide what to call a play, and they ruled a touchdown. Set the game into overtime, and St. Louis beat us.
The penalties for the day. It's plain to see that Bum is not entirely happy with the way that things have gone between the New Orleans Saints and the officials this afternoon. Third and 15 at the 15-yard line. David Wilson. Screen left to Holmes. Got it up to the 25. It'll be fourth down with about 6 to go. Punting unit comes on. Totola and Tina Turner made the tackle.
If you notice that hat Bum has on, Lindsey, somebody stole his hat at halftime.
Lady Solomon, Dwight Hicks are dropping back now to receive the kickoff as Bum gets in a little mileage along the sideline. Russell Erxleben into the punting. Solomon. Over to Hicks out of the field. White Hicks takes it. That's the 29, 30, 35. And he is stopped at the 38-yard line by Jim Wilkes. So the 49ers get the ball first and 10. That was a 47-yard punt by Erxleben. The score is tied 7-7. 12:30 to play in the third quarter.
The Toyota diesel truck delivers at both ends. Up front, the Toyota diesel gives you extra dependability with 2 batteries for more starting power, a rugged 2.2-liter diesel engine, and of course that great diesel mileage. Are you comfortable? And back here, you get the Toyota name so you know it's built tough. The Toyota diesel truck delivers at both ends. Hey, we've got you coming and going! Diesel!
Rainmaker to ground. Okay, Rainmaker. One more, how to do it? Raj picking us up a radio. Tell that fire not to go anywhere. Bullseye! You got it! Does that mean it's Miller time? Roger, over and out.
Well, it's time to relax. One beer stands clear. If you got the time, Miller's got the beer.
Monday, October 5th. Host Harrison Ford shows us how they created the great stunts for the box office smash Raiders of the Lost Ark, Monday, October 5th.
Candlestick Park in San Francisco on a football afternoon. The 49ers first and 10 at the 38. Ricky Patton, Johnny Davis on the setback. That's Patton. Only 2 to the 40. He's second and 8.
Well, Montana has pretty good field position here. But when you get field position, you have to do something with it. You have to take advantage of it. Here comes Cooper in.
With the next play. St. Louis has gone ahead of Tampa Bay now, 10-6. Next Sunday, San Francisco at Washington or Dallas at St. Louis. Check your local listings, and don't forget it all starts with the NFL today. Montana. And it's complete to Solomon. Freddie Solomon is headed for a touchdown.
Well, I'll tell you what, Lindsay.
60 yards.
Montana threw a strike. Wait till we see a replay on that. Montana drilled that ball in there so perfectly. He threw it like a baseball. Look at that tight spiral right in there. Right between defenders and blocking instead of tackling. Somebody tried to block him down, didn't use the arms.
So Solomon comes off. Mike Sherman is in the hole. Barr will attempt. Sherman puts it down, booted up, and it's good. So the San Francisco 49ers have taken a 14-7 lead here in the third quarter with 11 minutes 48 seconds remaining to be played in this period.
That an amplified human voice can shatter a glass is remarkable. That a cassette recording of that voice can shatter a glass is amazing. But after 1,000 plays, can the same cassette still shatter a glass? It can if it's totally new Memorex. Now even after 1,000 plays, reproduction so true, we ask, is it live or is it Memorex?
You are about to leave the world of ordinary cars behind and make the Eagle switch. The revolutionary two-wheel, four-wheel drive American Eagle. The only automobile that lets you switch from two-wheel drive to full-time four-wheel drive. From high mileage on the road to high adventure off the road. Two-wheel drive luxury to four-wheel drive security. American Eagle. A switch from every car in the world from American Motors.
Matt Barr is seated up to kick it out. Jimmy Rogers and Wayne Wilson to the deep men. Wilson on the far side, Rogers at the goal line. Barr sails it downfield, and Jimmy Rogers retreats. 2 yards deep in the end zone, goal line 5. He's out to the 10 to the 15. Upended at the 15-yard line by Ricky Churchman. Ricky Churchman on the tackle.
Boy, did he hit him. That's using your shoulder pads. Now here's perfect execution, 60-yard play coming up. Montana to Solomon, but also faulty defense. Watch 22 coming right here trying to block the receiver down and not use your arms and wrap around him and make a tackle. You aren't going to block a guy like Solomon, knock him off his feet. He's too quick.
George Rogers carrying to the 19-yard line. Tina Turner in to make the tackle. Canada to the right side, goes to the left side. There's a quick pitch to George Rogers.
Well, Rogers, Lindsay's running a little better now. He's running with more authority. Going back to that block by Ricky Ray, the defensive coach or the head coach has to talk to him. When you throw a block out in the open field, if you miss, that's a touchdown. You've got to use your arms and wrap them up and try to lock them up there, because you can't give those easy scores. That's a home run.
Dwayne Board on the last tackle for the 49ers. First and 10 for New Orleans at the 26. Brooks Williams in there. Out of draw. Taken there by George Rogers. And he gets across the 30-yard line to the 32. Carlton Williamson brought him down.
Well, both of these clubs, for instance, the Saints have 18 new players. They got 13 rookies, 10 draft choices made the team, and they got 4 starting rookies. So we got 2 young ball clubs here today.
2nd and 4. Holmes is carrying. The up back. Rogers out of the ball game for the moment. It's at the 33, picked up only 1. Jim Stuckey made the stop.
Wilson seems to have a lot of poise. Nothing seems to bother him.
Third down, about 2.5 for Freed. Gross left and Chandler right. Wayne Wilson, Jack Holmes to the setback. That's Wayne Wilson moving out to a slot right. David Wilson. Throws it back, and Chandler can't get it. Ronnie Lott covering defensively.
Well, 4th down. Wilson did a good job of getting away from the rush. The 49ers dog 2 linebackers. Watch the linebackers dog. Reynolds and 57 Bunts chased him out of the pocket. He throws on the run against the grain. Lott didn't see the ball, but he broke it up. There it is. The ball hit Lott's left hand.
Erxleben's back in deep punt formation. Hickman, Solomon are deep. Trajectory kick. Fair catch is called for by Solomon, and he's got it. Leaning up against his own man there at the 30-yard line.
4.6 hang time.
36-yard punt. First and 10 at the 30, so the 49ers leading by 7 will start there, but there is a penalty marker on that last kick.
Ineligible downfield.
In 1930.
First down.
Eligible downfield refused. So when they resume play, it'll be first and 10 at the 30-yard line for the 49ers. 8:55 showing on the clock in the 3rd quarter.
In 1931, Texaco developed a new gasoline for emergency vehicles called Fire Chief. Not just for fire engines, but family cars, too. In 1941, Texaco helped create a fuel refining process for the national defense.
For tomorrow, Texaco is working on a way of turning America's plentiful coal into clean burning gas. These are some of the ways Texaco is making good use of America's energy resources.
Homeowners insurance or car insurance, when you have a claim, you want fast, fair service. State Farm agents see that you get it. For some claims, we can even pay you right on the spot. On other claims, your agent works with experienced State Farm claims specialists. Whether it's a homeowner's claim or a dent in your fender, we work as a team to give you fast, fair service. State Farm teamwork, it takes the hassle out of claims.
Wednesday, October 7th, Kenny Rogers stars in a motion picture based on his hit song, Coward of the County. He lived hard and fought hard. Kenny Rogers stars October 7th.
New Orleans coach Bum Phillips had a 105-degree temperature, was hospitalized earlier this week, and earlier today we asked him how he felt now.
Well, I'm really feeling all right. When you get 58, there's a whole lot of things go wrong with you that don't happen when you're 25, but really I do feel fine now.
But he feels fine, doesn't look as good without the big hat that somebody stole at halftime. First and 10 for the San Francisco 49ers at the 30-yard line. Easley and Patton are the running back. Charlie Young in motion across. Leave it on the ground to Easley. And Gerald Moore made the tackle.
You know, with that hat he has on, if they come from behind and win the ball game,
You wear it forever.
he won't change.
So, struck him down and 5 yards to go. You're right.
You know, Lindsay, I may have said that 22, Ricky Ray was a rookie. I can't recall. He's not a rookie. He's a third-year man. He just blocked instead of tackling.
2nd and 5. Cooper's back in there now. Cooper's got the ball. Up to the 37. Gain 2. It'll be 3rd and 3.
Now, usually in this situation, Montana likes to go underneath to a short receiver to get the first down. Some type of a delayed pattern.
49ers are leading here by a score of 14-7. Then Clark to the left side, Solomon to the right side. Split the running back for Joe Montana. Cooper and Patton to the setback. Hops it to Clark. Incomplete.
Well, the ball was behind him.
Ricky Ray recovering defensively. Punting unit comes on now for the 49ers.
He likes Clark in a clutch situation. It's a slant to Clark. Ricky Ray jams him. The ball's thrown behind him, and Ricky Ray almost has the ball. And 52.
Jim Miller is in there to do the punting now.
Fullback.
Yes, sir. You see? Fair catch signal goes up, and it's made upfield at the 30-yard line by Guido. Guido Murphy got it again. So they'll start 1st and 10 at the 30-yard line, with the 49ers leading by a score of 14-7.
This life isn't for everybody, but for me, nothing beats it. And nothing beats my skull either. I just take a little pinch and put it between my cheek and gum. Sure feels good. I think going smokeless is the only way to go. And for me, Walt Garrison, this is the only way to live. Try going smokeless with Skoal, Copenhagen, or Happy Days. A pinch is all it takes.
Hi, Hal. Hi, Mr. Van Patten. You know, I've got a big family in real life, too. So we need room when we drive. Well, our new Olds Delta 88 is one family car that didn't forget the family.
And this one's a diesel, so it has the same kind of mileage as many smaller cars. Now, that's practical. Our new Olds Delta 88. In today's practical world, there's still room to do it with style.
Tom Phillips, the head coach of the New Orleans Saints, with his career record there for many years, of course, head coach of Houston. Had been in the college ranks for a good many years before that. At one time was on the Texas A&M staff from head coach Bear Bryant. 1st and 10 at the 30-yard line. Gross and Chandler, wide receivers. Holmes and Rogers, the setback. That's Gross in motion across for David Wilson, the quarterback. That's Rogers carrying. Just got to the line of scrimmage and maybe a foot or two. Carlton Williamson made the tackle.
Well, Jim Stuckey doing a pretty good job of stacking that running game up to the left side there. We got to report his ankle is okay.
Rich Caster's in there now. 2nd and 9 for 31. Growth in motion outside right. David Wilson throws a screen. Taken by Holmes. And he's thrown for a loss of 2, but there's a penalty marker on the play.
Jack Reynolds read that play very well. Wilson had to throw the ball before he wanted to.
Clipping against the Saints. Could have been John Hill.
They forced him to throw that screen before he wanted to. It never developed.
See Danny Bunge getting the defensive signals from the sideline. He calls the defensive signals on the field. Bunge does. Fred Silver, the referee, now paces off the penalty, and he'll tell us about it.
Offense, number 62, personal foul.
John Hill.
Well, Hill was trying to get out in the screen.
Moves the ball back to the 15-yard line. Still second down and long.
49ers in their nickel defense, 4 rushmen.
Jack Holmes, the lone setback. Wayne Wilson in the slot right. David Wilson, the quarterback. Wilson, Wayne Wilson. Gets it up to the 33. It's not enough for the first down. Bobby Leopold on the tackle.
You know, Wayne Wilson made a good catch there, Lynchy. That ball was thrown real hard. You could hear the impact as it hit his hand. This is an underneath pattern to watch.
Wayne Wilson and Tucson Tyler in there now. Third and 6 at the 34. Wayne Wilson loosening up. David Wilson. And it's complete. Taken by Rich Castor. First up. Williamson made the tackle.
Well, Castor made a good catch. And Wilson put the ball up high so he could get it away from the defense. Let's take an end zone look at this. Watch Wilson lay the ball up high so Castor can go up and use his height and get it.
Rich Castor, having made the catch, comes out of the ball game. Brooks Williams replaces him. First and 10 at the 47-yard line for the Saints. 5:25 remaining in the third quarter. Rogers across to the 49-yard line. Jack Reynolds and Tina Turner on the tackle.
I like Tina Turner, Lindsay. I think he's going to be a good one. He stacked that up, and he's playing with bumps and bruises.
Second and 7.
I think he has a hamstring.
Second down and 7 yards to go. The ball is just across the 50-yard line. That's Gross in motion across. David Wilson. To Gross, and it's Gross, and Gross has got it. And he's out of bounds inside the 20 at the 17-yard line. Ronnie Lott, the defender over there. 28-yard pickup.
Well, Gross went in motion, went down the sideline, and it was wide open. Makes a nice over-the-head catch. Ronnie Lott didn't play the defense properly. Looked like they were in some sort of a zone. They left him loose along the sideline.
Jeff Gross with the reception. Wayne Wilson's in. George Rogers out. First and 10 at the 17-yard line. Trailing by 7. The New Orleans Saints are driving here late in the third quarter. David Wilson going to the corner to Chandler, and it's intercepted and run out by Eric Wright. Eric Wright is out across the 20, and he gets to the 23-yard line. Jim Peterzak made the tackle. Wright intercepted in the end zone. He could have kept it there, and it would come out to the 20. He elected to run it out and got it out to about the 23, and he stacked up there.
He brought one back against Seattle in the preseason and won the game. Here it is. Here's a replay. A corner pattern off a play action to Chandler. The ball's thrown just a little late and behind him. Wright makes a great play, shows the athlete that he is, brings it out, thinks he's going to go all the way on the play.
Archie Reese was shaken up and is being assisted off the field.
Right guard knows a man needs all the protection he can get. That's why Right Guard Solid has an action-triggered formula. Triggered to release protection when your body needs it most. So the more you sweat, the more protection you get. Right Guard action-triggered formula helps keep you dry and odor-free all day. Right Guard Antiperspirant Solid. The more you sweat, the more protection you get.
He's walking, yes,